in the evening of the 9th of January, there was some interesting conversation over dinner. Heinrich overheard Kira talking about locked bags. A lot of the Novikov family was being the Novikovs, Temur making direct eye contact, Valeria being out for the night with a quote-unquote headache, Anton just eating and leaving, and Femia not being present. We decided to go and investigate a lead at the Hissy Fit, the club that Modest thinks would get us closest to some of the information we are trying to seek. So we end up making our way there, stopping off for a brief moment at a scrollery for a bit of errand running for Ollie. But upon getting to the Hissy Fit, there was a long line outside, so we finessed our way in, pretending to be a up-and-coming musician and her entourage, and managed to make our way all the way to the stage and make a positive enough impression to earn an audience with Nish, both the headline saxophone player of the club and the leader of the local branch of the Axe Pack. We impressed him with the show, answered a few questions. He ended up doing his whole set for an hour or so, and then kicked everybody else out of the club so we could have an uninterrupted conversation. And where he divulged that Gabrielle's last known objective was following up on a man named Vsevolod, a man we are familiar with because that's Kira's brother. The issue arises that he was last seen in Oswin, which is where Gabrielle is headed now, but is part of the Tri-City Redoubt and currently a war zone. So that leaves us trying to figure out how to get there safely and in a timely fashion.
An excellent summary, as per usual. Does anybody have anything else to add that they remember?
Pretty complete.
Other than, of course, Daisy milking a crocodile man and Nadya seeming very apprehensive towards traveling in that direction.
Ooh, Marjorie snuck off with Modest at some point, but that would have been a stealth, I assume.
Yeah,
that was subtle.
Doing some home wrecking.
Right.
Oh, you also milked someone. Cool.
Not quite, but we're getting there.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Hold on, we're doing bases here. We're taking our time.
You're walking Modest, gotcha.
Yes.
Don't let Kira find out.
Well, she already has her suspicions. I'm pretty sure her butler is following us around. But I figure, getting a little bold, have had a few drinks, and having a good time, and the family is hated here, so fairly private enough and busy.
So I believe we left off with some unanswered questions in the Discord roleplay that we did after last session.
Yes, because I think you asked about them being able to get you into the Tri-City Redoubt.
Yeah,
I never got around to answering it because I'm a lazy piece of shit. However,
that's fine. Motivating, and then Marjorie had asked how long it would take to walk to Oswin.
Well, first question of having the Axe Pack help you get in is they can't really help you a whole lot more than you can help yourselves because of the heavy military presence. They've got people on the inside, or at least people willing to be coerced, but that wouldn't really get you a whole lot further than just bribing your way in.
Sure.
As for walking to Oswin or the Tri-City Redoubt, I guess another thing is they keep saying he was headed towards Oswin, as in he planned to go there. but you guys don't really know how far he got or where he ended up.
That is true. Like, we're assuming he got to Oswin, but something could have happened in the wilderness along the way.
Well, I think if we end up following Gabrielle, she might be hotter on the trail than we were, so safe to follow her and get most of the way there, I would think.
She would have been following a fresher trail than us, so that is a logical course of action. And she wholeheartedly agrees with Ollie. Like, and she seems ready to get underway, though I think it's... Are we picking up straight from the hissy fit? Or are we back at the mansion because it's late at night?
It's up to you guys, either or, because you have your full conversation with Nish, and perhaps also Snare, who hates you all now because, it's kind of what he does. You get the impression that he hates everybody. Or you could pick it up back at the mansion. They give you all the information you want and basically send you on your way because the nightclub is closed. It's like 2 a.m.
Right. Back at the manor it is.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because I assume we get in pretty late to begin with, too. And are we just going to have the camp supplies? I
Probably
assume.
pick it up on our way out.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's one of those. It's so late night. It's like, would that be us picking it up in the morning thing? We could do that.
Yeah, you could easily do that and go to a warehouse or a grocer or something and pick up what you need.
Oh, in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and then we could just leave town then.
Jozerstan is a massive city. You have no problem finding like basic camping / adventuring supplies.
Okay.
Excellent. Heinrich will throw money at our problem.
Nice.
I think it was $4 grand, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Ollie will wake up earlier than everyone else to spend some time learning invisibility from one of those scrolls so that he can sneak off and get paid and meet back up with the party.
Oh, that's true. Get you your money.
Yeah, sure. While people are shopping, you can do that.
Yeah, Marjorie would get up pretty early, and all she really leaves behind is the dress on the mannequin that she's been working on.
Oh yeah, and to answer your question about a straight shot to Oswin without any turns or curves or delays at a blistering pace would be at least 2 days. So you would probably be expecting maybe 4 or 5. Would be more reasonable.
Yeah, because I don't think any of us are any particular long distance walkers or runners.
No, decidedly not.
And that, of course, is if you just walk straight shot from Jozerstan, because you can take a caravan or ride horses or whatever to another location and then go towards Oswin. So, is still conservative estimate, probably 4 to 5 days.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think Heinrich's going to have a caravan if he even has a chance at getting a fraction of the distance.
Yeah, him and Madam Black both.
Oh yeah, have some limitations. Yeah, I guess we would go out. We've packed our things, and then we are out. We grab the supplies, and then we meet up at the gates, I assume, or whichever gate we're going to leave out of, and try to find a caravan.
Mm-hmm. So while you guys are setting yourselves up and you're buying your supplies, which it takes time. It's not like hard or anything. Because you're just going to the store and buying stuff. Ollie, you jot down to memory your invisibility spell, and you use it to cross over again the railroad tracks, only this time you find it considerably more difficult. They have sealed the hole that you used last time, and now instead of mercenaries patrolling, there are heavy patrols of regulars, and you can tell that they are using magical means to sniff people out doing exactly what you're doing. But since you've done this twice before, or since you've done this once before, you kind of already know how to, get past them and handle yourself. So you barely make it past them without getting spotted. And when you go to Raoul's, you deliver his product, and he is quite happy with it. And he gives you the other half of your money, which I believe was another 30 grand.
Correct. Dumont or Various?
This is all Dumont currency.
All right.
And we said it was $445 per person for the supplies?
Heinrich said he was going to cover the whole thing.
Oh, very generous.
What a nice old man.
Yeah, Marjorie would begrudgingly thank Heinrich.
I explain to Raoul as I'm getting paid that I have left the wand unmarked for obvious reasons.
He tries it out. It works, and he is very pleased with himself and very pleased with you. And he puts his arm around you and tells you that he's going to put in a good word with the Night Riders, and says that there's probably going to be more business coming your way. He gives you a wink.
I shake his wet, slimy hand and head back out.
I mean, probably not from that one guy you traumatized, though.
Maybe especially from him. He's going to need some treatment. You go back the way you came, and if you tried to do this again, Ollie would feel very uncomfortable. When you go through the second time, you really feel like the regulars from the army are like closing in on you, like they're hot on your heels.
Yeah. Well, good thing I don't have to do it again.
And you rejoin at, you said the main gate. Did you mean the main gate of Joserstan or the main gate of the Novacon estate?
Where do you guys want to meet? The estate or the city?
I think the estate would probably make the most sense, since most of us aren't locals and don't know entirely where we're going yet.
We don't want to get too separated. Marjorie makes sure to say goodbye to her lovely horse, Araceli. He gets a nice apple. My boy.
Horse.
And she's a little sad she can't take her friend on a cross-country adventure that he's specifically trained for, but she's like, oh, too risky, too beautiful, someone's going to steal you.
Well,
He munches the apple.
I'm aware of some spells that could help with that situation in the future. Should I come across them in scroll form or have the chance to learn them, I'll do so.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. I can mess him up, but it is difficult to change his how sound he is and how, she gestures at like he's just a well put together horse. Anyone looking at him could see he's able and not easily spooked. Oh yeah, during like the gunfire all the way at the beginning of the campaign, he like barely flinched.
Yes. Noticeably so. So I will endeavor to be of assistance in the matter.
She gives him a pat and we meet at the gate. Hopefully all our NPCs are gathered as well.
Funny you should mention it, because they are not. You do a quick head count, you notice that Modest is missing. And just as you notice that, you see him coming out of the front of the estate, speed walking very rapidly towards you. He's got a nervous look on his face.
Uh-huh.
I take it that means we are leaving right this second.
Yes. Yeah, we quickly open the gate. I don't have any spells to disguise him, but I could change the color or whatever he's wearing. And his hair color, I guess, if not for a brief time. But what's he say when he gets to us?
When he comes to the gate, a couple of the family guards come out, and you hear them kind of whispering to him, saying, sorry, Herr Novikov, but you know what your father has told us. I just want to have a word with my friend, Marjorie. Come here, Marjorie.
Yeah, I go over.
Marjorie, you have your tarot cards on you, right?
What?
Do you have
She
them
like
on
looks
you?
around.
Time is of the essence.
I always have them. What? Why?
Good, come on.
I go with him?
Come on, we have to go to the dining room. I need you to do a reading.
Oh, for who?
He kind of throws a thumb at himself.
She's like really confused because I feel like they probably haven't talked about the cards too much, but I assume people know what they're about. But she'll go with him.
Yeah, the guards keep a close eye on Modest as they open up the gates and let you in. And obviously the rest of you can go with too. The guards open it up wide enough for all you guys.
Yeah, I see no reason to split up right now.
So you follow Marjorie in, and Marjorie follows Modest. And Modest, while he's going in, he seems really nervous. He's got some sweat on his brow, kind of dabs it away with his little kerchief, and he says, "All right, no matter what happens, I don't know how tarot cards work, but just make it bad. Just make everything bad, okay?"
She like, I guess for the first time, she takes out the deck and she starts shuffling it. She shuffles it a few times, and then she actually passes it to him and says he has to shuffle it a few times. And she says, is anyone in your family particularly superstitious?
He does a really rough job of shuffling the cards. You tell he doesn't really know what he's doing. Yeah, mom and dad, which is why we are doing this. Just remember, bad omens.
She looks down at the deck as I cannot control what I draw. It has a mind of his own. Whatever the fates have promised you, she gestures at the deck.
They don't need to know that. Come on, help me out here.
Well,
and he walks you in to the sitting room where when you guys are going through the hall, you can hear people yelling. The telltale sound of his little brother Timur. Well, then go and find him, you idiots! You're running security here. You should be better than this. And you find in the sitting room there are a few footmen and guards just nodding along to Timur, like, yes, of course. Here he is now. And it is Timur, Valeria, and Modest's mom and dad. Mrs. Novikov gives you a wave and a wink, Aramis. And when she's pretty sure nobody's looking, she blows you a kiss.
How many people are actually looking, though?
Almost no one.
I'll give her a wink.
She turns red, produces a fan, and fans herself. And Mata says, "See, I told you I would be right back. Here she is, the mystic from far away, a Celestine seer who can tell the future. This is why I brought her with me. My future, our future, full of bad luck. It is as I've been saying. Now is not the time."
She's like 1,000-yard stairs for a second because she totally didn't expect that.
Wait, but we already met his parents? They know our deal?
Well, it could have been a secret that she was keeping. She kind of like stares at the back of Mata's head for a second, like, I really wish he hadn't said that, but she clears her throat to play along like, yes, I have been feeling... It is the cards that tell me when it is time to draw one's fate, and I think she'll palm the deck back and forth a little bit, but not shuffling it anymore, since he was the last one to do so. And I think now would be a good time to see, just to get a feel for what is going to come to pass while we are away. She kind of looks between Modest and his parents.
Modest is like nodding, smiling, giving you the thumbs up. She says, "Yeah, I'll clear the table so you can do a reading right now." Whenever she does it, it's always bad. And he starts clearing it up. And Mr. Papa Novikov, he's got his pipe and he's got his whiskey, or actually no, because we're in Joe's saying he's got his pipe and he's got his vodka. And he kind of swirls it around and he says, "My boys, you have been delaying for months, for technically years, I think. It is high time we all got on with this. I have plans. Kira has plans." He gestures over to a nearby couch where Kira has been sitting this entire time.
Good.
And when you lock eyes with her, Marjorie, she's been glaring at you.
Yeah, she just clears her throat and she sets the deck on the table by itself. It sits there for now innocently.
Yeah, but Papa, you've got to listen. She's a seer. He kind of like snaps at you, like, come on, make with the bad luck. Let's go.
All right.
Nikki, you have your cards, right?
I do. Oh God,
Hell yeah,
you want me
let's
to
go.
do it? So I'll do a 3 spread.
Let's fucking go.
One. Do you want me to just do past, present, and future?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll just do, since I had shuffled these so well previously. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. Do you want me to just do the future card, since that's really what he's here for?
Yeah, you might as well cut it down to that.
Alright. Let me see, because I gotta double check. I don't know all of them by heart. Okay, this is pretty freaking great. Because she draws, for the future, it's the Queen of Cups. And she can draw it reversed, but that definitely doesn't look good on her. Because the reversed version, which is usually like the usually bad one, or like, oh, this is trouble, the Queen of Cups is a distinguished woman that is not to be trusted.
So what are you
Perfection.
What are you telling Mama and Papa here? More Papa, because Mama's making goo-goo eyes at Armin.
Do I feel like I'm even capable of lying about the cards once I draw them?
Oh man, you could try. Depends. You could try anything. You're not sure what's going on here. You think Mama and Papa know a little bit about tarot cards, but you don't think anybody else really does. You especially know that Modest doesn't.
Right. Oh well, yeah. Obviously. Because I'm trying to think of a way to spin this, because the upright face card is a good, fair woman who is devoted, who will do service for the querent, which, she's doing work. She could be doing work for Modest, but like could be important. He goes with them, so she could spin it. Since I assume no one knows what the reverse draw would mean, so she could give a mix review. So she'll say, this card refers to a distinguished woman from somewhere else, just usually not the residence of the querent, the one asking for the reading. She gestures to Modest. And it is a success in endeavors. There's obviously always trouble, but it is she like sits there and thinks for a moment, because she's trying to bend this to travel, and it's really not a travel card. He's trying to use this as a way to get out. Anyone got any ideas?
Nope.
Endeavors are a lot of traveling. You got to go do stuff to have an endeavor.
Yeah, I guess she'll frame it as he needs to perform some kind of service with this distinguished woman, which she shrugs. We may meet someone along the road. It may not necessarily be moi. Could
Or
be anyone.
Or a distinguished woman, as in Kira, and we're looking into her brother, which would potentially help her out in terms of his assets and all of that.
Yeah. Marjorie will twist it to that the best she can. That he is helping a distinguished woman solve the issue at hand.
When you start using the term distinguished woman, Mrs. Novikov kind of snaps out of Aramis's goo-goo eyes, and she goes, distinguished woman, surely this is Kira, yes? And Heinrich and Ollie, you guys both kind of lead them down the logic hole of the cards are saying that Modest has to go on a journey to help this distinguished woman. And Mrs. Novikov kind of says, so after the trip then, husband. And Mr. Novikov, he's kind of furrowing his brow, staring at this card. Queen of Cups, eh? What? Ah, yes. So, my boy, he turns to Modest. You agree, after this trip of yours to secure more of Kira's assets, this is when the wedding will be held, yes? And Modest is like kind of wide-eyed and slow, turns to you, kind of grits his teeth a little bit, and he says, yes, father, that is exactly why I brought Marjorie here.
She
To set a
sighs.
date for my wedding real soon.
She puts her hands up. Like she kind of
I-
glares at him.
I clasp Modest on the shoulder. This is good, yeah?
Yes, Sir Heinrich. It's just great.
Well, because let's see.
Now you
she'll,
have something to look forward to when you come home.
She could also bring up the present card too, because she drew the Emperor. Like, because that's
that's
about
up to you.
stability, power, and aid and protection. Like when they mentioned the wedding, she says she would quickly bring up point out the middle card. Well, since the past card isn't, that useful right now, she brings up the middle card and she says, but the present card cautions that things must be stable, protection. We must use caution in the timing and make sure everything is properly prepared, so it may be premature to set an exact date.
Papa Novikov kind of waves his pipe around and says, yeah, of course, not necessarily the day of your return, perhaps within the week. He nods to you and says, thank you, Mademoiselle Marjorie, you have been of most help. And he puts his arm around Modest and he says, my boy, you realize how long we have waited for this, yes? This kind of results in a non-conversation where Modest just kind of 1,000-yard stares and goes, yes, Papa, over and over again.
Mhm.
And old Daddy Anton basically tells Modest, Kira, she has been waiting a very long time. I set this entire betrothal up for you. She, your childhood girlfriend, your little crush, huh? I'm trying to make you happy, my boy. And she has waited a long time, and I have waited a long time. Her father's patents are absolutely vital to us overcoming our rivals and the continued success of our family. You delaying has cost us a lot of money, and I must say, my patience is running thin. Once you are done with whatever this business is, you will come home. You will take up the responsibility of your family. Do you understand? Yes, Papa. Good. Well, I suppose that settles that then. Here, pick up your cards. Put the drinks back on the table. He just kind of harumphs and twiddles his mustache a little bit and kind of wanders off.
She will scoop up the cards very quickly, and they instantly disappear into her pocket. She does not look like she enjoyed being put on the spot like that. But she straightens her coat. Would I be able to insight if I feel like they were actually like childhood sweethearts, or like what's everything going on here?
You can insight it if you want to.
I'm looking around like.
You have no reason to doubt Papa Novikov.
That's true, or at least like his interpretation of the situation.
Or at least his interpretation. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I won't bother because that's what he believes. So that's going to be what he believes. All right. Marjorie gets up and well, we were about to go. She kind of stands up straight and like looks to the rest of the party. Are we ready?
Well, Aramis isn't ready because he's sitting next to Mama Novikov and she's twirling her finger through her hair. So, Sir Laflamme, surely you will be back sooner rather than later, won't you? You are coming back, aren't you, brave knight?
We will all be back as soon as we can.
I'm just asking because I think I have an important mission for you.
Oh, yes, the Knights of my order are always looking for new work and contacts, so I most certainly will return to establish this connection.
Of course, you have such a reputation for being warriors and diplomats, and this mission I am speaking of requires endurance and a deft tongue.
Yes, we are known to be lovers and fighters.
She kind of she's got to take a big drink after that one, and you can tell that now is your moment to escape.
He will take his hat off, give her a bow, and back away with the rest of the group.
And so the group backs away and filters out into the hallway with a modest 1,000-yard staring.
She's gonna wait to talk to him before they're gonna put some distance here. She kind of lets him wallow for a bit for putting her on the spot. But yeah, I think we'd start heading out of the city and look for that caravan.
When you guys start heading out, the gate opens up for you guys. One of the guards is informed by a servant that Modest is being allowed to leave the house. And they kind of roll their eyes and go, okay. You hear Kira hollering after you. And when you turn around, she runs down the steps and she hops up to you, Marjorie, and she looks at you for a second, kind of narrows her eyes a little bit, and she just hands you an envelope.
It is to be opened at any particular time?
She says, whenever you want. I went over towards the mortuary that issued his... Anyways, it contains his last known whereabouts, down to his precise coordinates. I was going to save it for myself, but, well, since you're on your way anyways.
We will recover what we can and solve this mystery for you. And she seems sincere about that.
She kind of takes a deep breath, sticks her nose in the air, kind of heightens herself up a little bit, and she says, then, if you're successful, you will be rewarded, of course. She glances towards Modest. only if you are entirely successful.
Oh.
Oh, what? Can I interpret? Just to
She
make
obviously
sure.
wants you to bring Modest back, and you ain't getting nothing from her until the two of them are married.
Right. All right. Yes, we will all return in one piece. And she just kind of sighs and gives her a little dip of her head, and we'll continue on our way. And she'll probably open the letter and give it a look as we're walking to the gates or to wherever the caravans gather.
She turns towards Modest and waits for him, and he just kind of starts to walk out. She goes, Modest? Huh? Oh, see you in a week. And he just runs away. And so you guys run off. You go to the western gates of Joserstan with all of your camping equipment and bedrolls and your food and supplies and etc., etc. And you are off on the road. Did you have any general plans of which way you wanted to go?
Well, I mean, Marjorie opens the envelope. If we think Vesivald is on the way somewhere, we would probably want to go that way.
Oh, yeah. The coordinates read for a precise location within Oswin.
Oh, so he did make it to Oswin.
Eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, she fills in the party. It seems, by some means, she was able to determine that he did indeed make it to Oswin. We will unfortunately need to go the entire way.
Oh, this is going to be a painful trip.
Agreed. So, did we settle on walking the whole way?
I think we were going to try and snag a caravan. If one's even going that way. Are we able to get aboard one?
Hit me with an investigation. Whoever wants to.
Yeah, could I use perception?
No, gotta be an investigate because you're going around asking folks.
Oh. Welp, hilariously, not her strong suit.
Ollie is too busy grabbing a newspaper and a postcard.
Okay.
Not my strong suit either.
Me and Daisy got this, apparently.
We've got to go together, though, because you've got to translate for me.
You could just yell horse at people.
Oh yeah, for this particular thing, you might actually get away yelling horse at people.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, no, that's it. Daisy has wandered off and is yelling horse at strangers.
No, Mama Daisy, that's a people. What are you doing? The horse. I will take you to the horses. Oh my goodness. Alright. So you guys ask around. And you feel like you've struck some luck. There is a brand spanking new caravan company that deals in very small items, general supplies. They're called the Needlepoint Trading Company, and they are about to go on their first trip from Joserstan straight to Oswin.
How fortuitous.
Well, that's rather convenient.
She would ask them, how do they plan on getting past all of the problems that we've heard about?
The caravan leader is a half-orc lady named Mrs. Zana. And she says, not to worry. Though we have all of our certificates and licenses in order, we will have no problem passing through the lines, especially army lines. And once we reach the lines of the Tri-City Redoubt, they will let us straight in. They're desperate for supplies, especially small goods such as these. And she shows you some of what they're taking over. And it looks to be small gears and pistons, pins and needles, both for like crocheting and for sewing. Just wagon after wagon of really fine metal stuff.
What did you say the name of the caravan company was?
Needlepoint?
The Needlepoint Trading Company.
Yeah. Marjorie kind of looks at Nadya as, like, what does she think the odds of the caravan making it are?
You see Nadia looking around and kind of grimacing and frowning.
I guess I'd go over to her after we've had our little chat, and at least they will get us most of the way before we really encounter any kind of trouble, yes?
She kind of shakes her head. These people are going to get killed. Look at them, all of the guards, young boys and girls, 18, 19, sometimes even probably 16 or 17. All shiny and new, green as grass. She is hoping to get through multiple lines of military pickets or patrols with, what, licenses and certificates? No. They are walking straight into a meat grinder with targets on their backs.
Well, perhaps we can go with them and try and help them get further than they would on their own. But as I said, we already have 2 of our number who cannot walk a greater distance, your charge Heinrich being one of them.
So she scoffs. She goes, it would be safer and probably faster for Heinrich to walk.
She shrugs as she looks at the rest of the party. She's all for taking the caravan for as far as we can feasibly get it.
Well, it's safer for us to be on our own. I see no reason not to.
I do not think we will be able to deter them from their plan anyway. They have already acquired what they think they need. So, she shrugs to Nadya. I say we take the opportunity to go with them for now. And then, whenever, if ever, the getting must be gotten, then we will go.
She just sighs and shakes her head. But the rest of the caravaneers and the guards seem to be pretty enthusiastic about bringing you guys along. They don't really check any of your papers or demand any kind of payment. They say that if you want to follow them or walk in amongst the caravan, you may do so.
And they've got carts pulled by animals.
Yes, a mixture of mules, oxen, and horses.
Okay. And Marjorie kind of looks over the animals and kind of looks to the rest of the party. If they're as desperate as Nadya says, I do not think they will be having these animals for long. And she'll hop onto the back edge of a cart to sit on so she doesn't have to walk too far for now.
What kind of condition are these carts in?
Heinrich, you don't even need to roll for it. You take a look at the carts, and they are all brand new. Of a middling but decent quality. Decent enough for the task at hand. You don't recognize the make of them, but they seem to be from Cash.
So inexperienced guards, a bunch of animals, and semi-fancy new wheels. Oh, we are going to be a beacon.
Yeah, that's why Marjorie's like, dude, we can go with them, just they've already decided. So since we can use them as a free ride for as long as we can, I mean, it'll spare your back and
Oh
Madam
no,
Black's
I'm
leg.
down with that, but ooh-wee.
Yeah, it's this is gonna be problems later.
Maybe
So
we can keep alive long enough so they can give up.
oh yeah, give them a chance to flee. We can try. Yeah, that'd be funny. A neat little personal challenge for ourselves. Keep these guys alive long enough so they can decide they need to book it. give up their mission. All right, yeah, I think we depart with them. Yes.
Sound good, everybody?
Duh.
Horse.
Ollie picks up, I think I mentioned it earlier, a newspaper to read on the ride and a postcard.
It's 2 gold.
All right. Easy
I had to look up the prices.
Oh yeah, and the travel time would be the perfect time to bring up Modest being traumatized.
Traumatized. All right.
Oh yeah, he's like 1,000 yards staring. She like drags him onto the cart that she picks to sit on the back of, and sits him down. And
He's munching on one of Daisy's flowers.
Does the caravan company, or does the caravan line go past a post office or a mail drop box on the way out the gate?
Oh, you could easily pass a drop box or a post office on your way out.
Perfect. Ollie scribbles a note on the postcard, dates it, and drops it in the box.
I assume to the fams.
Yep. I'll whisper you.
Cool.
Marjorie looks kind of guiltily at the mailbox, but doesn't say anything. Just kind of watches you send off your letter, a little sad. But yeah, then we're on the caravan, proceeding, I assume.
Yeah,
Indeed.
dig into that trauma.
Yeah, well, because Marjorie, like, since he seems to, he's munching on a random flower that she's given him.
I really hope it's an edible one and that he's not just eating something she's handed him.
Yeah, she.
Oh no, he eats everything you hand him.
Oh yeah, Marjorie would grab it and kind of toss it overboard if it definitely doesn't look like something he should be eating.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you are not supposed to eat everything that she hands you.
Then why is she handing me things?
And perhaps to hold it for her.
Oh.
She like kind of looks at him like to make sure he's not like busted or anything.
He's kind of got his brows furrowed and he's doing the staring thing a little bit.
She keeps kind of the she just sighs. You should have warned me more about what you were trying to do. You kind of just popped it on me, and I had to improvise, which I am capable of doing, obviously, but it would have been a little better if I had been more prepared.
Oh, this is okay. I panicked. It was sprung on me at the last minute, and all I could think of was, maybe Marjorie could fix these with the tarot cards.
Yes, but they usually are not solutions to things.
You could say that again.
Well, it's just like, and why are you trying to get out of this anyway? Didn't you agree to it? However long ago you agreed to it?
My father agreed to it. With her father, I was never consulted. And he pouts.
And how do you feel about it in general?
He just shrugs. Oh, great, she's a dignified lady.
And?
And what? We are betrothed. Eventually I will marry her, obviously.
But until then?
Until then, Dad gets to worry about his patents and all of his gajillions of gold. and I get to worry about eventually not being able to do anything with anyone anymore.
You do not necessarily have to marry her. Not to like. She shrugs and like gestures. If you are not interested at all, can you not negotiate?
You mean not do anything with anyone anymore, like your mother does not do anything with anyone anymore?
I might actually murder you at some point on this trip, night or not.
He does have a point, though.
Where is Daisy's flower? Maybe it is poisonous. Baba Daisy, why do you not hand any poison to this man over here, huh?
As you're like turn and look, and she's like growing a little garden in her hand, and like it's all just a lot of colors.
Better be deadly nightshade. Baba Daisy's brewing you some tea, Aramis. It's going to be great.
I'm not a tea drinker.
I'll bet you're not.
Modest, though you may not agree with the subject matter, he does bring up a fair point.
What, that anyone should end up like my mother and my father, clueless and despising each other, while living in the same house but never seeing each other unless it's for business? No, thank you.
No. Well, perhaps you could come to an arrangement for sir. I do not take either one of you for fools.
You'd be the first.
Bartry kind of crosses her arm and like, what are you suggesting? Because I already think that Kira would 100% be not okay with it. They are not Celestines. They do not have a open mind about. She gestures to Aramis that this kind of lifestyle, and I am honestly surprised that even you would suggest.
Well, if this is an arrangement, most contracts do have loopholes. And she did not seem exactly happy to see Modest when we first crossed her path.
To be fair, he does blame him for everything. But I believe that is a bit of a sweeping blame. There was no one to point fingers at the time, so it was convenient. I think her brother did plenty of the problem making himself. But
While you keep talking, Modest just kind of sinks lower and lower into his seat.
yeah, she helps.
Of course,
She helps him sit back up. No, like please, we are here to help.
of course, we could always propose substituting Modest with his brother. It would still fulfills the contract.
Emma would be overjoyed, I'm sure.
I do not think Kira would probably be happy with this, and neither would the parents. If inheritance is anything like it is in the Celestine Empire, it would need to be Modest.
If he renounces his inheritance, does not seem
Or-
like the type to be business-minded.
It would
Or
also.
is dead as far as the family is concerned.
I do not think you are willing to give up the luxuries of the life we lead, and it would be giving up a lot.
Dead, eh?
Marjorie sighs. I was just curious. I had to ask because it is a bit glaring that you are not particularly interested. I'm sure you like Kira perfectly fine, but I am beginning to think it is more as a friend than anything else.
Can we please not talk about Kira? Why don't we talk about this wonderful adventure we're going on? Straight into the jaws of hell, I think you said? Nadia? Something about jaws of hell? Over there? Jaws of something? Hell something?
Marjorie lets it go. She kind of sits back on whatever is available, and yes, I believe we are entering a war zone. We will have plenty to think about.
Nadia's got her arms crossed and she says, yes, something along the lines of Jaws of Hell. I don't actually remember, it was yesterday. But I assume that once the caravan is hit, we will have plenty of opportunities to run into the marshes or tall grass or trees or what have you. There is no way we are going to try and defend these people. They're a lost cause.
Really? Yeah, Marjorie seems a little surprised we are not safer in numbers.
We are certainly more of a target in numbers.
I suppose, but do you think it would be at least a mild deterrent for bandits or whatever?
Nadya, you know the last thing I'm going to do is abandon these people. I did not abandon you and all the others.
That was different. We were here already. We did not have a choice. These people, they are tourists. A caravan like this, going anywhere near the redoubts, it is like... It will be like a whale swallowing a school of fish. We are the fish in this scenario, by the way. I don't particularly enjoy the thought of dying for a bunch of foreign war profiteers.
We've seen one war zone already with oh, why am I drawing a blank on the name of the city we met in?
Because the
Probably
name of
because
the
the name
city...
is Schlopgrod.
Shliopgorod.
That's it.
Oh,
We've already seen one battleground together with Pleopgorod, and we made out pretty well from that, I would say, even choosing to go back. We were
Yeah, is
tourists
that-
then. Still mostly ours, all things considered.
She laughs. You haven't seen anything yet.
and that was more of a small skirmish. Nothing like a full-scale battle.
No, I've read the statistics and... Well, they're concerning, but... I suppose seeing is different than reading.
Heinrich's staring off in the distance now.
Oh, good.
Sorry, I just drew a card.
Oh, good.
What's that Seinfeld thing? In my mind, the war's still going on.
Jeez.
I guess that would be a good time for the card thing, because she just like looks pissed off, like, really, I just pulled you out, and she like shudders and she reaches into her pocket and she draws a card and she like blanches and then tries to put the card back, but it's like stuck to her hand, and she's like, oh, great.
Oh, what's the matter? Are you betrothed now, too?
I hand him the card.
No, you're a funny lady.
It says
You're
death on it.
hilarious. Oh, okay. He looks at it and goes, death, eh?
Yeah, she smacks him and says, it is a difficult card. It can mean a lot of things.
Really? Can it? It says death, and it has a picture of the Grim Reaper.
Yes, it could also mean like the death of an old you and a rebirth of new. It
The
could be-
skeleton man in the black robe is carrying a scythe, Marjorie.
I don't know, Marjorie. That sounds like he should fake his death.
Heinrich. Yeah, she kind of like looks at you like super disappointed. She thought you were gonna be like the voice of reason, and she's like
Oh.
woefully disappointed.
I've run across several soldiers that from several different countries that did so to escape the horrors. I mean, this is not even close to that scale, but if he truly dreads it that much.
As I said, the guard has many meanings. It can be easily interpreted as change as well. It is the end of one thing and the beginning of another. It can also be very technical, such as mortality, destruction, corruption, but it does not necessarily need to be those things. Something can become uncorrupted or corrupted, whatever it was originally. It just means difference. Something that is not present now. A transformation, if you will, is perhaps the more universally accepted meaning of the guard.
Then perhaps we'll be lucky and it's about my back recovering.
Oh, she lets him keep the card for now if he wants it. She doesn't seem interested in taking it back from him.
What would Modest even do with it?
Go. She handed
Oh,
it to him,
goodness.
so maybe eat it. Like
he's
an idiot.
fucking staring. Fuck you. He's staring at it and he puts it in his pocket.
Oh, he puts it in
No,
his
he'd
pocket?
only eat it if
Alright.
Daisy handed it to him.
Probably not.
Why is this qualified with the probably? It is a piece of cardboard.
Don't need any guff from you, Alfax guy. But Ollie, you're hanging out with Madame Black, and after the war talk with Nadya and Heinrich, she pats you on the shoulder and she says, "Oh, worry not, Master Oliver. Don't listen to these bitter fools. War is a fair bit of sport, as long as you're good at it and know how to get through it properly. Luckily for you, you've got me on your side."
Comforting. And, well, you've got me at your belt. He points at the wand.
Indeed, Master Oliver. Aha! Aha!
To that point, he, takes out his fancy wand and starts to fidget with a few things, because all this war talk is giving him ideas, and he's essentially going to try to start developing a new spell.
Whoa.
So anybody who's paying attention to him, his wand has the just above the hilt of the wand, there's several silver, dark gunmetal, gray type rings that spin. And you see that as he fidgets with them, the arcane markings that scroll up the wand or the shaft of the wand kind of change and shift and change color and all that, and he's looks like he's fidgeting with settings. And he will occasionally flick it out away from the caravan and just mumbles to himself as it fails, and he tries adjusting other things. And you'll see occasionally he'll trace his finger along the shaft and it rewrites some of the arcane runes, and he's just testing stuff out and giving things a whirl.
Neat.
But Steve, I am also going to send you another thing.
Very good.
But just the beginnings of trying to make this happen.
Okay, you start on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we're able to be on the first day. I assume we can be pretty idle and like humor ourselves with whatever we have on us, like books or whatever. Right? We don't need to like keep
Yes,
too much
yeah.
active watch.
If you don't want to, you don't have to watch for anything at all.
Marjorie's not much of a guard, so she would probably focus on her book and leave the more able to keep an eye out for stuff. She'll read more of her book.
Heinrich will also do so with your book.
Yeah. Sit
I was using your book too.
right, yeah, you just sit down next to her and we'll flip the pages and work together.
Yeah.
Do we roll advantage working on the book, or do we just take a flat roll?
Marjorie, give me an advantage.
Yeah, sure.
Because Heinrich is instructing you.
Of int or wisdom?
Perception, I believe.
Oh, perception. Yeah, sure.
No, I think I was learning off of this book too.
Oh, 23.
What were you learning?
It was was Old Common in the book?
Yeah,
You
he's
already know Old
teaching
Common.
me Old Common, and
Was
I
it?
think.
Because I have a percentage for that book too.
Oh, maybe to just try and learn whatever the book is going to potentially teach. Because usually, I think the books sometimes bestow some sort of specific knowledge to the story.
Heinrich, you have a okay, yeah. Either a percentage or an investigation.
Perceptive or
Percentage or an investigation, perception or investigation. Or an insight, I guess. Well, no, you had an advantage to roll again.
Oh, okay, yeah. Where is it? There it is. Can't possibly be worse.
There we go, much better.
Both of you add 13% onto your progress bar.
Heck yeah, I'm at 14 whole percent.
What's Daisy doing during the trip?
I'm gonna work on my regular common.
Okay, probably a good idea. Modest is looking for some sort of an escape, so he can help you with that. Hit me with a perception.
$24.
Ooh. Add yourself a 13% to understanding common. Yeah, Modest is looking for a keen distraction, and you provide him with one.
I now am 22% of the way through learning common.
Yeah, you can speak in broken common at this point. It sort of makes sense, but it's kind of a 50-50 whether or not you can get your idea across, which is better than it was before.
I can do more than yell horse now, thank fuck.
Correct.
You want me to make a roll for the beginnings of Muspel?
Yes, I'll put you on a percentage too. How about that?
Sounds good.
You can either hit me with a tools check or an arcana.
Arcana it is. Hodang!
Oh my god. Throw yourself down for a 15% on rolling with this spell and its creation. Aramis, what are you doing on this wonderful little trip?
He would probably be practicing his martial forms with the Yarplek, trying to teach him a thing or two about fighting.
Yeah, you do some sparring and training with Yaraplex. And though he is obviously a coward, he does know his way around a knife in sort of a brutish, thuggish way. And he expresses some concerns with the trip about the trip with you. He says, this Nadya lady, she is very scary, but I think she is somewhat right about this caravan. Something is not sitting quite well with me.
And what is that, my friend?
Here, check this out. And he leads you over towards his sack, which is in one of the wagons, and he digs through it and he pulls out a couple of health potions, a bunch of cartridges for firearms, a couple of knives, basically a bunch of knickknacks, and you know that none of them are his. This is just from this morning. These guys, they just came out of the womb. They don't know what they're doing.
Well, it is not their job to know what they are doing. It is our job.
But that's the thing, boss. It is their job. It's not our job. We're passengers. I'm telling you, if I ever decided to go bandit and live out in the woods, I would go to sleep every night, warm in my blanket and campfire, dreaming about a caravan like this.
Well, now that we know what we are traveling with, we will just be sure to be more cautious.
Yes, well, he looks over towards the north where the old train tracks are, and there are some big teams of oxen pulling some empty, not empty, but locomotive-less rail cars up and down the tracks. And Yaraplex says, well, as long as we keep following the tracks, we will be okay. Lots of traffic, people on the roads, guards on the tracks. At the very least, if we get attacked along here, somebody will at least know about it.
My friend, I am glad that you are being conscious of such things, but it will not help us to worry. We just need to be on our guard as best as we can.
Not almost to worry, I don't know about that, boss, but I am always conscious about my safety, I'll tell you that much.
Trust me, I know this, my friends. You and I, we have stuck together through much, and I would rather have no one at my back than you.
Oh, hey, boss, come on. Let's pretend to stab each other some more.
Very good. Now put your feet like this, and then you will do this next.
And you continue to practice stabbing each other. So you guys left pretty early in the morning, and you are on the road for hours and hours until you get to about here. When whoever feels like noticing, you can notice that the caravan takes a sudden turn towards the south, very much off the main road, and onto what looks like a smaller, less well-kept side road. And you find that you are no longer following the tracks.
Imagine it gets bumpier, so we all kind of could probably notice. Less kept road, so. Yeah, Marjorie notices.
It gets bumpier at first, but then it stops being so bumpy because the caravan slows way down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Marjorie will look at Heinrich and close the book, or put a little bookmark there and go and look over the side of the carriage, and it was I do not see the tracks anymore. Where are we going?
Heinrich unfolds his gun. I'm not sure. But, let's be prepared just in case. Are one of the guards nearby?
You take a look out the wagon, and you see a couple of guards nearby, a couple of them on horseback.
Yeah, he'll call out one of them. It is much safer to follow the tracks as long as we can.
Well, safer. Well, we're making a straight shot towards Oswin. What's safer than safe is speed, my friend.
Did he really just say that?
Perhaps we should talk to Zara and give her a bit of insight.
Indeed.
Marjorie coaxes the party, perhaps.
Speed. We are going a fraction of what we were doing before.
Yeah, Marjorie will hop out, and I assume Zara is like at the front of the caravan.
Oh yes, you assume correctly.
Yeah, she jogs up to the front and waves her down.
She is way up ahead of the caravan in her own private carriage, and you can see her at the side of the road with a couple of her guards and maybe advisors, a guy in a fancy suit and a couple of soldier-looking people, and they have a map splayed out and they're all having themselves a discussion, and you walk up on them.
Pardon, I was a bit curious when the road got suddenly a bit rough, and where are we going? Why are we not following the tracks? Is that not the safer route?
So, following the road, we are on the road. What do you think this is? Why would we go almost 200 miles in a circuit north of Poltava when we could spend 160 miles just going straight to Oswin? There are roads here, going just south of here, Slavakosp.
I could look
Then
at
we
these
go in
roads.
between the Oswood and South Oswood, and we will be in Oswin probably by the end of tomorrow, or the early day after tomorrow.
The road isn't well worn here, right? Like it's starting to get a little overgrown.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. She says, what do you hope to make up for in time? We are being bogged down by the fact that this road is not maintained like the other one, and there's other traffic there. It will deter bandits. This is asking
Bandits?
for trouble.
She says, bandits? Pff, she waves you off. It's like, we have almost 100 men here. We can fight off whatever local hedge mages or homeless population attempts to try and wash our windows, change our wheels. And she has a good chuckle along with her boys.
How green are these 100 guys? They're pretty green, we've established.
Yes.
Okay, like borderline children. I think we were looking at like 16-year-olds.
Yeah, she doesn't appreciate you calling it some kind of a side road. She says, no, this is a main road. See, look. And she points to the map, and it's labeled as a main road on the map.
Yes, but how long ago was it the main road? Years?
You,
I look for the
you
date
take
on
a-
the map.
Oh, wise move. I'm so glad you did that. It predates the Coalition War.
She gasped. She's like, you are using... You must have paid nothing for this. It is outdated. I am not even from here, and I can see that no one is taking this road. It is dangerous.
She kind of sighs and says, oh, look, I am from Kesh. Everyone here is from Kesh. Where we are from, all roads are dangerous. Maybe where you are from in the Celestine Empire, there are no bandits on the road. Maybe the roads are paved with perfectly flat cobblestones, the person behind her says, or gold, apparently. But there is really nothing to worry about. We can handle this, and if you disagree, you are always welcome to leave the caravan. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go back to plotting our route.
So we're like going through some woods, right? Or the marsh or whatever.
Right now, you are going through a batch of trees, which is going to open up into some wetlands. The tall grasses are higher than your head.
Harry leans over to Marjorie. How many of them do you think will panic at the first sign of trouble?
They are children. All of them? Yeah.
Heinrich just aims his rifle at a tree and fires.
Hold on a sec.
Just,
who
you know.
spooks, yeah.
Yeah. Here's something unexpected. How do they react?
You spook a bunch of the horses and donkeys, and they kind of hee-haw and neigh. Some of them stop and begin to swerve off the road. Far behind you and far ahead of you, you can see some of the guards kind of like turn around and look, and then just go back to their business.
Like, they don't even come investigate. Yikes.
A couple of the wagon masters kind of shake their fist at you. You know, what are you doing? You're scaring the horses. Stop being an asshole. Come on.
I almost think that is worse than panic. Marjorie's just kind of like, she pulls her coat tighter around her and rubs her hands together because it is like the middle of winter still, right? It's still quite cold.
Oh yeah, it's January. It's getting colder and colder the further you get from Joserstan.
Yeah, she's rubbing her hands together. She has put on a hat at this point, and we are in trouble. But I do not see too many other options unless we wish to get off and walk all the way back and follow these tracks ourselves.
It's not the most appealing choice.
It's getting late now, isn't it? Not like dark yet, but it's like late afternoon.
Oh yeah, sun's going down.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, it's evening time.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. Perhaps we can spend the night and decide in the morning before they leave.
Assuming everything goes well tonight, yes.
It would probably be foolish to head back in the dark by ourselves, so she would go looking for the rest of the party and tell them what's happened or what's going on.
All right, Marjorie, you go back and you tell Daisy, Ali, Aramis, and the rest what has occurred.
So, I guess the question is, how long do we stay with them on this death trip?
Death trip.
Marjorie kind of shrugs. She's like, I do not know. This is not anywhere near my expertise. I feel safer in numbers, but everyone else is saying we are simply a bigger target. Do I think some of these boys can fight? Of course, they probably can, but perhaps we shall stay until, as I said, we cannot stay, or we cannot rationalize staying. I do not have a good option, unless anyone else has a particular preference. I think at this point we should just stay the course.
I will say Jarl Black warns me of the same thing. He says they are woefully undersupplied for what they are intending to do. They do not seem to be very combat experienced.
Yes, we put it to the test earlier. Heinrich opened fire on something nearby just to see how they would react, and most simply ignored it. No one really came to even investigate or ask questions to ask what he had shot at. So, yes, I do think they will be in trouble should an altercation occur. It would do good for us to stay close together tonight. Just in case.
Speaking of which, Marjorie, roll me 2 20s.
Woo! Let's see.
First time for one of these in a while, huh?
Well, we haven't traveled in a while.
So you guys continue on until dusk passes and it's almost pitch black out. And you are all like kind of on edge a little bit until you feel the caravan shifting and the quality of the road changes to slightly better. And when you peek out of the back of the wagon, you can see that you are approaching the silhouette of what looks like a walled town. and the caravan comes to a stop. And each of the wagons, you hear the one ahead of you jerking to a stop, and yours jerks to a stop, and the one behind you jerks to a stop as well. And you can see the wagon master is kind of like looking around, like, what's the holdup? What's going on? And a couple of guards kind of move past you guys. They gallop past on their horses, and after a couple minutes, they come back, and they kind of look a little worried, and they begin whispering amongst themselves.
Ooh, I tried to listen.
Roll a perception.
Sure, yeah, I want the deets, hopefully. Oh shoot, sorry, I forgot to turn off advantage. If you take the first one, it's an 8.
Well, you hear a name. You hear the guards whisper something about, we're supposed to stop in Sorokina, but Sorokina doesn't look like that. And of course, you've never heard of the village of Sorokina.
Well, yeah, obviously. She's never heard of it. She'll bring up the name to everyone else in the caravan, or in the party. Sorokina mean anything to anyone? She looks specifically at, like, Modest and Nadya and Yaroplek.
Yeah, Heinrich just shrugs.
Nadya and Yaroplek both kind of shrug and say they've never heard of it. And Modest says, sounds familiar. Pretty sure it used to be on one of the stops Mom and Dad would take whenever we would go on trips out to the country. Small village, couple hundred people, maybe. Big business for a caravan like this. Kind of peeks out the wagon. I don't see any lights, though. He kind of grimaces.
That is usually a bad sign.
Yes, it is late, but not that late, I think. Yeah, I look around. Do we know about what time it is?
It's about 8 or 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay, so there should be some lights, just... Yeah, that's weird. Actually, could she wave down one of the guards and ask them?
You wave at one of the guards, and he goes, huh? Yes?
Yes, come here. She calls him over. Please, if you could. And she'll bring him in, bring whatever poor soul has noticed her, and ask, what is going on with the city? Why is it so dark?
He begins to trot over and then sees that you're hot and kind of straightens his fur cloak and furry hat and just goes, yes, madam, how can I help you?
And she bats her eyes at him. We could not help but notice there are no lights, and someone mentioned the name of a town, perhaps? I'm not sure.
Yes, a scheduled stop at the city of Sorokina. Nobody was outside the gates to greet us, even though they knew we were coming. So, I think we're going to have to wait for someone to open them for us. Or maybe open them ourselves? I am not 100% sure. I could go ask Mrs. Jana for you if you want.
Oh, please, you'd be too kind. And she waves him off.
Oh, boy! Oh,
Yeah,
she
she
fucking
waves him off.
17-year-old. He looks like a baby in military uniform.
So,
Go ahead.
how noisy is the wildlife being around here?
Not very. You can hear the hiss of some insects in the distance, and maybe some birds fluttering here and there, but it is eerily quiet.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
I think this is where we leave them to their devices.
Yeah, Marjorie kind of looks around. What do you mean?
I think he means to the demises.
But nothing has happened. She kind of looks around.
I believe, this...
Technically, this looks like an ambush.
That, or we have found some of Daisy's void friends.
How does it feel?
Oh yeah, are we feeling Bad vibes.
Other than the void type objects that you have nearby you that you have consumed, you're feeling pretty good actually. You feel better being away from Joser's stand. As far as you can tell, there's no creatures that shouldn't be nearby.
Okay. Well.
But why don't you go ahead and roll me either a nature or a survival anyways?
Okie dokie.
Anybody?
Daisy.
Days.
Oh,
Oh, Heinrich, are you skilled in nature?
I am.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Twinsies again.
Daisy and Heinrich are getting worked on.
Heinrich, you are certain that there is something amiss. Usually, being an ex-soldier, you would know that if soldiers run into an area, they'll disrupt the wildlife, and the wildlife will shut it up. But if they stay there and wait for an ambush, it usually kind of comes back a little bit, and it's eerily quiet. It's got ambush vibes on it, but you feel as if you and the others would have noticed if there was a large enough ambush to take out this entire column. And since it stopped, they would have struck already. So you feel that there is definitely something amiss, but you don't feel like it's an ambush, at least not like a military ambush. And that's just from looking at the natural surroundings. You and Daisy, it would be very easy to assume that maybe there's some sort of dangerous predator about, and the wildlife knows about it, or the wildlife is just not here. It's been either transported away, or it's dead, or something, but you feel like that's very unlikely.
Heinrich's thinking there's some correlation between that and this town being mysteriously extremely dark.
And Daisy, additionally, you feel an extra spice on the air. You feel like some kind of magic is at work here.
What kind of magic? Or just general not great vibes?
You're feeling a little bit elemental.
Okay.
Fire, air, earth, cold, that kind of jive. But Marjorie, lucky for you, your new boyfriend comes galloping up on his horse, and he is very proud of himself. He says, "Oh, yes, so mademoiselle, you will be pleased to know that we've made our way through the gates, and the convoy will be going into Sorokin presently." He takes off his hat and everything.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so helpful. And she kind of looks back at the party like, oh, good. See, everything is fine. And she'll start walking in that direction, in the direction of the town, I guess. Even though I assume the caravan's going to wait here for a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. You walk away from him the entire time. He's been like, "So, when we find lodgings for tonight, maybe I was thinking that you and I." Oh, she's gone. She has walked away from me. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I'll catch you later.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, whatever your name is.
Oh, yeah, I did not give him my name.
I mean, that's on him. He didn't ask.
Yeah, he didn't ask, so she quickly aways.
So yeah, are you guys gonna try and enter the town on foot, or you want to wait for the caravan to get moving?
I'd rather go in first.
And Marjorie's already started her way.
He'll hobble his way after.
Okay, well, Heinrich, you and Marjorie head up towards the gate. And before you get there, before the caravan starts moving, and you can see that Mrs. Jana and some of her crew have basically gotten the bolt cutters out and opened up the gate to the town. And just as you're walking up, they're beginning to swing the doors open. And you can tell that they've had to like work at it. You know,
Wait,
they've gotten the tools out.
Was it chained shut?
You take a look on the ground and you see that they have pulled off a bunch of the chain.
Why would they chain it from the outside?
Does the area smell okay? I don't know. Just boggy? Just regular boggy smell?
One of the nearby mechanics kind of wipes some sweat off his head and he says, that was the weird part. The chains were on the inside. We had to pull them through the grates. Yeah, pull them through the bars.
Marjorie kind of looks at Heinrich. This is very unorthodox, no? Who chains the city from the inside?
Mrs. Jana is nearby and she says, well, I'll tell you who. Assholes who want to get out of payment on the contract. Well, we paid for a full night's rest. We're going to get a full night's rest. Come on, move the caravan. Let's get these horses going. Come on. Up, 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 up. She starts hassling people to get moving into the town.
This is like a palisade here, right? They just have a big chunk of wood holding it usually.
Oh no, this is a decently okay-ish looking brick wall. The houses inside look less expensive. Most of them are wooden construction, but the streets are paved with stone. And
I just mean the gate itself, not really the wall.
the gate is more like a portcullis. It's made out of metal, and it swings open like doors.
Kind of peek inside. Is it like a ghost town inside?
Okay, so the chains don't seem super out of place then.
Not super out of place, but chained, the door shut from the inside.
Yeah, Marjorie tries to get a look inside. What's going on?
Oh yeah, you can walk right in if you want to. On immediate looking around, you don't see any lights on. There's nobody in the streets. Yeah, it seems like a ghost town.
Alright, well, you probably shouldn't leave them on their own up there. If these guards were older and experienced, then sure, but let's go meet up with them.
Marjorie's Marcus nearby too. Well, he's always close.
I don't understand. That Kira, she's such a nice young lady. What is Modest's problem? I'm right here. I haven't gone anywhere. Oh,
yeah!
God!
Yeah, we both jump.
Oh, did you forget we could still see you?
I forget a lot.
Yeah, she like reflexively pats his shoulder and then instantly regrets it and tries to warm up the hand that touched him again and
most women do.
Sorry, that is not why. It's simply you're ice cold but let's she wards him away from the topic. The matter at hand, please. Would you be able to see if there are people in the houses? Do not show yourself, but take a look at that one. She points at the nearest building that looks like a house.
Sure, I can take a look around. Be back in a few minutes or whatever.
Thank you.
Go on, Marcus. Take a look around. Scout ahead for us, Marcus. Find those deadly traps, Marcus. Get hit with darts, Marcus.
I don't think darts can hit you.
You're paying me. Am I, or am I paying you?
He is very grumpy today.
Yeah, by the time Marjorie is done ordering Marcus around, your guys' wagon pulls in and you're able to load on out and meet up again. And you all see the same thing. This place is kind of a ghost town.
Comforting, he says, layered with heavy sarcasm.
Yeah, it is not a big village. A couple hundred people probably lived here at one point. There are a couple of large-ish buildings. There is a manor at the center of town, and it has got what looks like some kind of granary or warehouse built up next to it. It's got some sort of grain elevator. It's got what looks like a pub and some apartment buildings. And then scattered about are some larger, cheaper-looking houses and residents that look like they have private gardens and stuff. And there are a few stone watchtowers dotted along the walls. There's one next to the gate and a couple more in a few different directions.
Does it look like... What is, like, the state of the streets in these houses? Does it look like they're damaged? Does it look like things were just dropped, like people just disappeared? Like, what's the vibe that it's giving other than just, like, it's deserted? It's like, how does it feel it was deserted?
Initial no roll, like looking around vibes you're getting, very recent desertion.
Like, drop everything and leave kind of thing?
You're not seeing stuff like laying in the streets. Like, you can see abandoned hand carts here and there, but they're like parked outside of houses.
Okay.
Some of them have things in them, but not like perishables. When you look in the windows of the houses, you can see that there's like furniture and stuff inside. If you want to learn more, roll me an investigation or a perception.
Marjorie also mentions to Ollie that the gates were locked from the inside, which would imply someone or many someones should have still been here.
Maybe they quarantined themselves. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen disease in the area.
Yeah, Marjorie kind of like rubs her face. That would indeed be a possibility.
What is with all my ones?
Oh my god.
In all fairness, you did get a nat
Just get a
20
nat
last
20,
I
yeah.
did.
The investigator investigated.
Oh my god, you did your job? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I'm more of a perceptive kind of person, you know?
Ugh, first time for everything, I guess.
Well, Ollie, you can tell some general things about the town, even with a 1. You still got a 9. This place is a very middling, wealth-leaning poverty. The only real paved road is the road leading from the gatehouse to the middle of town, and kind of along like the general store and the warehouse and the mayor's/elder's mansion. That's paved with cobblestones. Everything else is like either wood planks in the dirt or just straight up mud. Marjorie, you do a little bit more of a deep dive on your way to the center of town. You find there are signs of struggle here and there. One of the houses you go up to, it is a very tall, skinny house, 2 stories. You find that the door is ajar, and when you kind of push it open with your foot, some chunks fall off of like the wooden frame that looks like somebody kicked it in. On the inside of the house, you can see that like a couple of chairs at the dining room table have been knocked over, and like a couple of the drinking glasses maybe knocked over as well, but nothing else. And you find a few more scenes such as that. Like you find a grocery basket filled with some dry goods just has been dropped in an alley.
Yeah, Marjorie would point these scenarios out to someone and mention that there was some sort of altercation here and there, not everywhere, but I am not sure what to make of it.
Some very few of the doors or windows have been kicked in or smashed. Some of them are open, but like unlocked, and some of the doors are just swinging in the breeze.
I'm sorry, I missed the very last sentence. What was it?
That not all of the doors have been kicked in or forced.
Right. Okay. So
Very
she feels,
few of them have.
Yeah, she says there was only. Yeah, she would mention that there was only a few altercations, and that was it.
No, and I would say that you do find some, not some blood splatter, but like drops of blood here and there by some of these scenes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess wander a little more into the city, because I assume the caravan just is chugging along, trying to get to like the pub or the inn or wherever we'd end up sleeping for the night.
Yeah, you head on into the center of town where all the guards and caravanners and stuff are doing their thing. They're lighting some of the street lamps, kind of wandering around, investigating. You can see that Miss Jana, she's got her map out and she's talking with her advisors and stuff, while a whole bunch of these green guards are going in and out of houses and just looting the place. Like, oh, hey, look at what I found. Look at what I found. Where is everybody? This is crazy. Hey, free stuff, though. They said we'd make our fortune in Dumont, and look, what luck.
I mean, we've already all gotten the weird vibes, so... Do I feel like... Oh, good.
Speaking of the weird vibes, because I, felt elementally magic, do I see any signs of that? Now that we're in past the gate?
Hit me with either a survival, nature, or arcana. One of those.
Well,
All right. You follow the party as they make their way inside towards the center of town, and you can see that Ollie and Marjorie are kind of taking a closer look at certain areas, and you kind of follow along behind and look past their waists or over their shoulders or what have you. And whenever Marjorie finds one of those strange scenes, you see that she kind of notices that there are drops of blood on the ground, and whenever you see those drops of blood, you get a little sniffy sniff, and you're feeling some very strong elemental energy coming from those little drops. Daisy, you're starting to feel that maybe elementals took care of this town. But you're not sure what kind.
I would pull on both Marjorie and Ollie's jackets then, to get their attention and just be like, elementals here. People?
Ollie, you there?
Yes.
Daisy be tugging on you. Oh, Nikki's away from the computer.
Yeah, I realized. That's why I talked on both.
Yeah, so it's your turn.
All right. Yeah, I will. Yeah. Well, what is it?
Elementals here. People.
Oh, elementals. Can I do like a check of the weave?
Yeah, you can roll an arcana for me. Oh my god.
It's feast or famine.
Pretty much. High or low for me today, nothing in the middle.
Yeah, you have a little bit of a hard time understanding Daisy, but she seems to be really concerned about something. And she's talking about hurt and danger and stuff. So you follow her, and she goes back to some of the scenes that you and Marjorie found, and she points at the blood, and you decide to connect yourself to the tides a little bit and see what they have to say. And you are feeling some disruptions. You are feeling the same bad vibes that Daisy is. And more importantly, you are feeling a presence nearby within the area of the town. But whenever you try to focus on it, it moves very quickly.
I don't like this.
You are fairly certain that Daisy is correct, and that there is a fairly powerful elemental loose in the town.
I relay that information to everyone else in a slightly measured but still sounding panicked tone. And he's got his wand drawn and he's being a bit fidgety. I think that we're going to have company before long. But no way to tell from where. Whatever it is, it's moving too quickly.
You hear a light cough behind you, Ollie.
Slow turns. It's right behind me, isn't it? One of those kinds of moments.
You slow turn and look very intensely at one of these young guards. Kind of gets the shifty eyes, and she goes, "Oh, hello. I just saw you guys here and earlier. Man, you look really intense right now. I was just looking for Nikita. He was talking to your Celestine lady friend earlier, and well, he's supposed to be here for roll call, and we were wondering, since he's not at roll call, is he here with you guys? But he's not. I'm just gonna go back. Okay, thanks.
Maybe don't.
Oh, do you know where he is?
No, at least let us walk you back.
She kind of like pauses for a second, and then puffs herself up and says, "All right." So, mister, what's your name? You from around here? What's your job? You look nice.
She like waves her off, because he's like trying to keep in tune with the tides, and like as they're all like walking in that direction, assuming everyone's following Ollie in this, as he's now like kind of being paranoid.
Daisy's at least with you.
Yeah, he's like waving.
I'm with you now.
He's like waving the conversation off, and like, it's like, oh, I make ones, but that's really not that important. And he's like turning around and like checking every alley, and will occasionally just like turn around and walk backwards for a second, checking behind them.
Well, wands, lucrative business, right? You do a lot of magic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of, and he's like barely holding the conversation with how, what's the word?
Old girl here thinks she's doing great. She starts yammering on about good business, that magic business. I'll bet you make a lot of money. Oh, you sure sound fancy. What a suit, what a suit. She has forgotten about poor Nikita. But you successfully walk her down to the center of town, where everybody seems to be attacking the inn. The lights are all on. You can hear a couple of people playing guitars and fiddles and accordions and what have you. And the caravan is stopped for the night, and they seem very happy with what they found.
Now that we're in the center of the town, am I getting anything different from the tides? Is it still moving around quickly? Is it staying in or one specific area more, or what's the vibe?
The vibe, it changes every time you focus on it. You can tell that there is either a bunch of these things, or there are very few of them, and they're super fast. But you do know this: by the time you get to the pub, the inn, whatever it or they are, they watching you.
Can I make a nature check to try to ascertain if he thinks it would be a good idea to not go into the lit tavern/inn, as if it were, like a like a bug zapper where like the elementals are going to go towards the light end,
Yeah, sure.
just to see if he gets the vibe that we should not join everyone else.
Nah, you're feeling safety in numbers. You figure, like, no matter what the animal or even elemental it is, there's safety in numbers. You feel like the light is kind of irrelevant. If it was like a fire elemental, you would know. Like, there would be burning and shit all around. Same thing with like an ice elemental or an electricity elemental, lightning elemental, that kind of thing.
Sure. So it like, I guess, sort of narrows it down to like an air elemental. How windy is it?
It is spooky windy. Every time you try to listen or there's a quiet moment, you hear that whistle on the air, that Halloween.
All right.
It is
everyone
really,
inside.
really hard to tell because you're kind of in windy country right now anyways. Like, it's not the open plains quite, but it is a marsh, so it would make sense for it to be windy. Oh, but it's a little spooky because of all the goings on.
Right. Everyone inside then. No need to stay out here longer than we must.
Yaraplex like scrambles past you. This is spooky. Stop looking at me. Modest also goes in. It's like, oh yeah. Well, I'll be honest. Fuck this, Ollie. Giving me the heebie-jeebies out there.
Yes, Marjorie's kind of... She hesitates. Like, do I feel like anyone's died here?
Hit me with a perception.
Sure, perception. 13?
When you really focus, Marjorie, you can always find something, even a trace of a spirit. But here, notably absent, even when you really attune yourself to the tides and that kind of spirit aspect of the world. Like when you sit at a table inside and you glare out the window, you don't really feel anything, and that is odd. It's something you would expect in like an empty field or empty wooded area, someplace empty, but not in a town, even one as small as this.
Right. Huh. She won't mention that. She doesn't feel that's too important since, you know, we can see that no one's here. But she goes inside.
Ollie, the last person in is a combination of Nadya and Madam Black, and they both usher you in, and they fight to be last in. Nadya wins. You get in, stop being like this. And when you guys all clamber into the place, you can see some guy, one of the guards, with a mug of beer in his hand. He takes a swig and wipes the foam off of his mouth. Hey, Mykolaiv, where did you go? He kind of walks outside, goes through the doors, and walks off into the night. Hey, Mickey! Come on, I thought we were having a good time. Where are you? But the inside of the inn is just filled with raucous activity, people playing instruments and singing and drinking and having their snacks and eating and stuff.
Interesting.
The one guy left to go find his friend?
That's what it sounded like. And I don't think you were there for it, but the lady currently on Ollie's arm, who's been talking him up, was asking about the guy that was talking to you earlier.
Oh, do I not see him in the crowd?
Oh, you look for him, but you don't find him.
She would go to the nearest person or party member to her. Well, since Ollie's occupied, I don't know who's nearby.
Aramis.
Yes.
She goes to you. It's like, I believe we have missing people already. The gentleman when we first arrived, who I sent to get us information, and another just left searching for a friend.
Well, we know that we are not alone. Perhaps these creatures are on the hunt.
We should get together and look for them then. No one should be alone.
Is that wisest, do you think? Perhaps we should defend what we know is safe. As much as I do not wish to leave an innocent, it's only going to put the rest of us in danger.
She kind of frowns. I do not think the rest of these people have any interest in leaving, and we are a group that is familiar with each other. Should we not band together and try to find these missing people?
If you think that is best, then I will follow your lead.
Marjorie, looks at the gathering of people. They seem pretty thoroughly occupied and happy with being here. It may not be safe for us, but I believe long term it will keep these people out of combat for yet another day. So, yes, let us gather the rest of us and find these missing people, and perhaps we can solve what is ailing this town.
Very well.
And she will go look for, we'll gather Heinrich, Daisy, Ollie, peel him away from his new fan.
You mean rescue him?
Yes, rescue him.
Thank you.
No, don't be a stranger. Come back. Wait. Typical Celestine. All right, so you peel him away and gather your party, and what do you do next?
Try and follow the trail of the most recent guy who just walked out into the darkness. I feel like would be a good start.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah, sure. You walk out into the streets of the town, and you take a look around, and you can hear the noises of people in the distance kind of rooting around and looting houses and looting businesses. Across the street, there is a granary and general store and warehouse, and you can hear a bunch of activity in there, people laughing and gathering stuff up. And at the mayor's mansion, you can see lights being turned on there as well. And you don't hear a whole lot of noises. It seems quieter over there. But you are pretty sure that you know the direction he went off into. So whoever wants to can hit me with either a survival, a perception, or an investigate.
Anyone got any theories?
Not really.
Just that it's air elementals.
What's making you think air?
Because if there was fire, we would see it. If it was earth, we would feel it. If it was cold, we could probably see it or feel it. And if it was like lightning, we would probably feel that buzz on the air. But the only thing that we got going on is creepy breezes.
So you guys make your way throughout this town, going in between alleyways and houses and stuff. And you find a bunch of muddy footprints that are fresh, and you follow them.
Hooray.
And it leads you over towards a part of town that looks kind of overgrown. And at first you think maybe it's abandoned, but you find that there is a small cottage in kind of a wooded area where you can see a natural spring bubbling up next to this stone cottage. And unlike everywhere else in this town, the stone cottage looks like it has been ripped to shreds.
Huh. Unfortunate. Guess we could check out the spring.
You go over towards the spring, and the water is crystal clear and smells nice, and you're pretty sure you could drink out of it if you really wanted to. It is surrounded by beautiful flowers and herbs.
Just to call the group over to the spring. Seems kind of nice.
Daisy, you immediately recognize this place as the home of a shaman or some kind of medicine man or medicine woman or something like that. It is quite humble, but it's how you'd lay it out.
This place, like, home?
Yes, it was, at least. Not sure what happened here. Does it look like it was torn down from the outside or knocked out from the inside?
Ollie, when you go inside this place, when you walk in, you kind of look at the ground and grass and plants right outside the windows and doors and stuff. You can tell that the door has been blown open, and you're pretty sure you see shards of glass all up in the flower pots and the windowsills and stuff. It looks like that the house was blown outwards.
Whatever this is, it started here. Look at where the glass is lying. The door's blown open, the window's blown out. That flower pot fell off, broke on the ground.
Do you think it is a summoning gone wrong? I did not know that could happen.
It very well might be. I will head inside and further inside and look for any remnants of arcane practice, I guess.
Ollie, you walk inside, and you are greeted with the light tinkling of all kinds of wind chimes all throughout the house. It's only got a couple rooms in it. It's not too big. But the floor is littered with wrecked parchment and quills and pens and paper. Books have been strewn about. This place has basically been trashed. And you find on some of the walls various powders and expired potions. And you can tell that whoever lived here was definitely dabbling in elementalism. When you go through some of these potions, you kind of set aside a bunch of the empty bottles as you look for full ones, but you kind of do a double take because all the empty bottles are labeled and they're sealed with wax. And you read some of these labels, and they're labeled weird stuff like carrot or some kind of flower. One of them is labeled cinnamon buns.
What does it smell like in the room?
In the room, it smells like the outside, I guess. Or I guess you're getting some of the dried herbs and stuff. It's kind of a mishmash of all the garbage on the floor.
Okay.
But I mean, you saying that, you do notice that there's a lot of very smelly stuff in here, or at least it would have been if it had been kept properly. It seems like it's been like this for a while, several days at the least.
So you said they're like sealed jars, but they're empty, but they're labeled?
Correct.
Maybe they're captured essences or something.
That's
know,
kind of
like
what
air
I'm
smell.
thinking.
Scents.
I mean, but Daisy.
Yeah.
Would something like an elemental get mad at keeping air in a bottle?
Does Daisy feel like an elemental would just get mad at air being kept in a bottle, or would it depend on what kind of air and what kind of bottle and what it's used for?
Well, Daisy, with that 25-year-old, at first you think, no, of course not. Air elementals don't care what you do with the air. Well, unless the air elemental is the air that you're doing stuff with. And then you see what Ollie has been seeing, and you come to a very different conclusion. You feel as if whoever owned this shack was perhaps using an air elemental to either gather things for them or do work for them. And they must have done something to either really piss it off or they lost control of it. And air elementals tend to, they're not really all that malicious, or at least they tend not to be. They tend to flee or hide, or if they get really angry, do some hit and run attacks. But the only thing you can imagine that would stick around in a place like this and either get rid of people or kill people, actually, no, with a 25, yeah, you would know. You would know what this is, actually. There's only one kind of air elemental that would be able to almost completely disappear a person in devouring them and leave almost nothing behind, and that is an invisible stalker.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the bad air elementals. They are not really neutral. They are quite evil. They do not like you. They can hardly be reasoned with.
Daisy would take a moment and then look at her friends and then look at the random, look around and just be like, "We leave, please."
So Daisy going through the thought process of, oh, hobo? Yeah, I could totally deal with he's on PCP. Oh no.
I can kill a homeless person. Oh, it's a homeless person on crack and PCP? No, thank you.
Ooh. And you just did some bath salts.
Yeah, pretty much.
We leave, please.
Marjorie's out by the water. Yeah, she would have stayed there, filling a canteen or something.
We should
that
leave.
Water be fresh.
Oh,
Quickly.
Yeah.
Thing here, bad. Not good, bad. We leave. We leave quick.
You know what it is, Daisy?
Mm-hmm. We leave quick.
Not seen the Baba Daisy like this before. Maybe we go back to the inn where it's safe.
The last time there was something Baba Daisy didn't like, she ran towards it. So
leave quick. Leave whole place. Leave now.
Yeah.
Modest is like, oh shit, you're right. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right, so I guess we start hurrying back to the inn. So Marjorie's like, well, what does she think that since happened to the people? The whole point was to go out and find them.
I'm not 100% positive, but I really don't think there's going to be anything to find.
Gone. No more.
So you guys get the hell out of this cottage. Are you leaving with any of these jars and vials, or are you opening them? What are you doing with the jars and vials?
I didn't touch any of them.
Well, I mean, you did because you had to like take them off the
Oh.
shelf to get stuff, but like you know.
Sure, but I'm otherwise not disturbing them unless I get the idea that releasing the air is a good idea.
I mean, you're not anymore. Anyways, the invisible stalker takes the bottles you touches, dusts them for fingerprints, and hunts you down for the to the end of your days, keeping a file on you.
Nice.
Great.
Hooray!
Joke's on you. Fairy fire.
Right. That would work on him. But yeah, we hurry back to the inn, I suppose.
Yeah, you guys gather your shit up and head back to the inn. It hasn't been too terribly long. It's been like half an hour. The inn is a little bit quieter. Well, not quieter. It's a little bit less loud. People have stopped like screaming and yelling and playing really raucous music. Now they've more split up into groups. The guy with the guitar is still strumming on it a little bit with his group of friends, and the accordion girl is like with her group of friends, and that kind of thing. There's a few people behind the bar pulling out bottles and stuff and pouring them into cups. Mostly people are serving themselves. But nobody seems too terribly concerned about this town being empty. You can hear some of the chatter on the inside. You know, I've heard that this happens to a lot of villages in Dumont. They run out of money and everybody leaves. Well, I heard that everyone gets murdered. Yeah, but you think we would find some bodies, wouldn't we? Nah, it's obvious that they all just packed up and left. Anybody seen Augustin? Where did Augustin go? I think he went to take a shit. What, out back? Yeah, by the outhouse. Were there one or two of them? I think two. I kinda have to take a shit too. I'll be right back.
Don't go alone.
Yeah, Marjorie looks at the party. We are the only ones with enough experience. You all did just finish saying how these people cannot protect themselves. I do not think telling them to not go alone is enough. They just said to went.
Or are you talking to this guy about to try and take a shit?
No, I'm talking to the party. Like, don't just tell them to go. We need to go with them.
All right, this man's getting an entourage to the pupa.
Right. Oh, and she's like, also how... she would also ask this guy's working. How long ago did the two go? We have been gone for a little bit ourselves.
Huh? What, Augustine?
Yes.
Nah, I just left a few minutes ago. Instead, he had to go drop a log.
She looks knowingly at the rest of the party and
We should head over
palms
there.
her daggers. Yeah, she's right.
Perhaps we can use this
Heinrich
opportunity.
starts heading over that way.
Perhaps we can use this opportunity to stage an ambush of our own fancy hunters, no?
Worth a shot.
Oh,
You
we
guys
could
like
try.
whip out all your weapons like, whoa. You guys are really serious about your shit. Or is this supposed to be the line? Last one there's a rotten egg. He like runs past you.
I suppose we hustle after him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you follow him round back the inn, and he like jogs over to the outhouses, of which there are two. There used to be three, but one fell over. Hold on a sec. All right, but one of them fell over, and he runs up to one of them and he says, "Ha ha, gotcha!" And he heads on in, shuts the door behind him. You hear it lock. The other outhouse, the door is kind of like swinging open, just squeak, 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 as it flutters in the wind.
Are there any blood drops on the inside?
Yeah, there are.
Great.
I start looking around. How do you spot these things? She like looks at Daisy and tries to think of an easier way to ask. She gestures, like she points to her eyes and then points to the area, and then shrugs. Like, how do we see it?
Does Daisy know of a way to see it?
Any mundane way to see it? No, not really.
What if you
You
throw
could.
dust at it? Oh yeah, magic, or like Marjorie asks if we just kicked up a bunch of dust, would the dust drift towards it?
Or away from it.
Whichever way it's pushing the air, yeah. I actually could just test that.
If the wind picks up.
Yeah, she'll kick like a little, you know, when you're a kid, you use the edge of your shoe to like make a pile of dust, and then she'll pick that up and just kind of toss it into the air and see which way it goes.
Well, Marjorie,
Yeah.
you pick up a pile of dust nearby the porta potties, and you get it up in your hands and you kind of hurl it over your head, and it spreads all around, makes a big old cloud. And you guys all take a look around, and the figure of a humanoid-looking something standing between you and the porta potties gets outlined in the dust.
Oh, this is almost worse than the ghosts. Marjorie has her daggers in her hands again.
It punches you, Marjorie.
Ow! Yeah, wait, hold on, wait. When she says this is almost worse than the ghost, she does silvery barbs. And he has disadvantage. I think, let me see. You magically distract a triggering creature and turn its momentary uncertainty into encouragement for another creature. The triggering creature must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Damn it! Okay.
Well, it's lower.
But I can give someone else can I still give it someone else advantage? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can choose a different creature you see within range
Almost shoot it.
as advantage. Who am I giving advantage to? Who do I think can hit this thing?
Well, magic's probably going to be the best way to get at it.
Are you gonna do an AoE or like a?
It's a single thing, so I'm
Oh,
probably
yeah,
just
sure,
going
so
to
you
try
could
to
try.
rip into it.
Okay, so if it's single target, because then advantage would actually help you. If it's an AoE, it won't help you.
Yeah.
So if it's single target, you can have it.
Okay. I will, in that moment, with those encouraging words, I will let loose with one of these. This first one's at advantage. And then the next ones
Oh, that hit.
are not.
Also hits. Also hits. Oh my god.
Uh, 16 force damage to it, and I gain another charge in the wand.
Well, you can tell it didn't like that. You send your bolts of magical energy up into it, and once they hit the invisible stalker, they kind of dissipate and crackle around inside of it, and they kind of light it up. And it kind of wiggles and wobbles around. It loses its shape a little bit, and the air around you guys begins to pick up, almost like it's a storm. And you hear the guy from the outhouse going, "Whoa, hey, calm down out there! Fair's fair! I got here first!"
We're gonna be done with this thing before he comes out, and he's just gonna think we're fighting over who goes next. Calling it now.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great.
So I'll reach over and try and give this thing a little touch.
Oh, wow, yeah, it is.
Nice.
The lightning! Here comes like 1 damage. Yeah.
It very briefly turns into Marv from Home Alone 2. You can see like the wind skeleton
Nice.
as lightning courses through it. But yeah, you give it a zappy zap, and both of you can tell that it doesn't resist either of those attacks.
Aramis will raise his pistol after loading
Oh,
it
yeah.
with some dragon's breath.
And you got
And-
that silver sword.
He does. He'll fire first before charging in. Ugh.
Unfortunately, that does not hit. It is wobbling and waving around, and it's difficult. It doesn't have any anatomy, so it's very confusing fighting this.
And
And also, you're trying not to hit the guy in the outhouse.
true. Then he'll charge in with his rapier.
Oh my god, guys, just wait your turn! And that absolutely hit.
Slice, slice.
Oh yeah, you could definitely feel it going through, and the thing writhes like a mad little lump of goo when you stab at it.
Okay, what that leaves
Bubba
me
Daisy.
and Daisy.
Bubba Daisy,
Yeah.
the Bubba Marjorie.
Daisy can go first.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, elemental. Wither and bloom.
Oh god, not a con save.
I like Wither and bloom. I really like Wither and bloom.
Ooh.
Slurp.
Yes.
Yeah, the air that makes up the shape of this creature kind of sizzles grossly in like a sickly blackish green. I don't know, smoke, like kind of like a firework, and it shivers and tries to shake it off, but it can't. Yeah, it didn't like that.
None of it. Oh no, wait. One of us has been injured, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I got mugged.
You can heal. You can use a hit die.
Oh,
If you
what?
want.
Because of the spell?
Yeah, a creature of my choice can spend one of your hit die and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus my spellcasting
Sure.
modifier.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Boop.
So that, then plus my spellcasting modifier, which is
I think the 7 was enough to cap me off.
which is which is a 6. So, but it'd be a lot more than you need.
Right, yeah, if I was lower, I'd probably still end up at full. Alright, cool. And Marjorie's a little winded because you imagine he socked her like right in the chest or the stomach, and now it's her turn to have a counter argument. I guess I don't think I have any spells that will really do too much to it. So I guess I will attempt to stab with my daggers. And I think they're magical enough to do damage. We'll see. Because 1 and 2. We're doing
Oh yeah, those both hit.
psychic blades with the 1. So we'll do it with the stiletto. We'll get the extra 2d6. I imagine the poison does like nothing to this thing.
You can tell that it is immune to poison damage.
Okay. Otherwise, it does everything else.
However,
does some damage.
Yeah, it's immune to the poison damage, but because you are using psychic blades, it counts as magical damage, so it does all the damage to it.
Oh, yay. Nice.
But yeah, you feel the same thing that Aramis did. Like you kind of poke into it and try to cut on it, and like you can feel it going in, but it's like you're stabbing wind. Super weird for you guys. And the stalker, it is a little cheese. It uses its legendary action.
Oh, crap. Who else is in melee with me?
It is
Me.
Okay, you. Okay.
and
And me.
Aramis.
And Aramis, yeah, I think.
It is punching Aramis and Marjorie.
Oh, boy.
Hooray!
The first one is for Aramis,
Okay.
That will miss.
and the second is for Marjorie. Here comes that 30.
Fuck. God damn it. Hold on. Yeah, shield won't even do anything for me. Yeah, I just eat it.
Nom.
Oh, look at the damage. He did the exact same amount of damage.
Yeah, what are the
Ow.
odds?
I mean, I guess pretty high since what he does at 2d6. So,
Average, really.
yeah, average. Yeah, he's doing average. Which is
Actually
fine.
below average because it's 2d6
Oh,
plus
yeah,
3.
because, yeah, he's got other bonuses to it. So, yeah. Well, ow.
Hey there, folks. How about those NPCs?
Oh, wait, hey. It's too late for me to add Marcus's damage. He only would have done a 1d6 cold, but, you know, whatever. I'll just remember that for next round. Or you can
Madam
add it to
Black
an
has a-
NPC. Yeah.
Yes, you can. You can do it now.
Oh, yeah. Poof. He taps the air elemental to make it very cold. And the next next shot does 1d6.
And Madam Black will try to do her usual and hit the invisible thing in the knees, but with the fancy new Morning Star. Madam Black rolled a
Ooh, yeah.
23 for 11 bludgeoning damage, 1 radiant. This is the +1 Morning Star, and 5 cold damage.
Yeah, it's good. It's that Morning Star counts as magical. Yeah, she gives this old boy a good bonkening, and it does not like that. It whooshes and swooshes. It's got those low spooky swooshes like coming up inside your ears and stuff. But as far as you guys can tell, you don't know how hurt it is, or if you've heard it much at all.
Well, Nadia's got some reach, so she'll get in there too. Never mind.
She did her best.
Nadia reaches with that Zweihander and chops the door to the outhouse in half. The guy on the inside is desperately trying to take a poop, and his eyes go wide, and he just starts screaming on the can. What is happening? Ah!
Oh, this is the first time she swung it too.
It is heavier than it looks. So off balance. Ah! Who's next?
I'll have Modest go. And I'll have him use. But I'll have him use his Curse of the Chariot Race.
Hey, you see the stalker kind of get some little wavy magical energy bursting through it briefly while Modest curses it. So it's gonna get cold and radiant damage.
I think that's just Yaroplex then?
He is. Yaroplex will try and put what I taught him to use and attack with his dagger.
You called it, boss. I'm going to stab the hurricane. That is.
Was 3 piercing.
Yaroplex does his best, but he machine gun stabs it, and he's like, I don't even know if I'm hitting it. But the invisible stalker takes its revenge. It's pretty frustrated with the Ramus, so it's going to try and hit you again. Does a 17 hit a Ramus?
It does not.
It's going to try again.
Wow, I'm about to say, what's your AC at now?
18.
Nice.
It just furiously tries to beat the shit out of you, Aramis, but you are far too elegant and knightly for this tomfoolery, and you easily dodge its blows. Its last one is a mean uppercut, which ends up hitting the outhouse, and now this guy is just shitting on top of a bucket screaming. With nothing to protect him anywhere.
This is just Jurassic Park with elementals.
Oh no, now he just sees us flailing at a cyclone.
or actually kind of nothingness. Because I'm sure the dirt isn't even in the air anymore.
The good news is that you guys had a strong first turn against this thing.
Right.
The bad news is that it has shaken off the dust and is now invisible again.
If someone has that fairy fire, we would greatly appreciate it. Is it our turn now?
Yes, it is now your guys'
It would
turn.
hit all of us too, though.
Oh, it doesn't differentiate, or it doesn't,
No, it's a cone.
It's a cone. Okay. Oh, it's
Cube,
a cone
or,
now, or is it a cube?
Oh,
It's
no,
a
yeah, it is a
cube.
cube.
Okay. Well,
It
shoot.
seems like a coney kind of spell. You know what I mean?
I guess sorta. Shoot.
Coney 2012.
Whoa.
Ooh, yeah, that's a callback.
Whoa. My
It's-
high school actually did stuff for that.
It's that kind of coney spell. Oh.
Okay. I imagine someone would have to use a turn to do the dust thing again. If we wanted to do that, someone want to have an NPC do it?
Yaroplet can, because he's not gonna hit it very hard.
Right. Okay.
It's plain dagger.
So Yarrow could go first and do the
You're like pulling out the pocket sand.
do what he saw Marjorie do to find it in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah, that can be his distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me! Ah!
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. I should not be picking this up. We are right next to the outhouses.
Oh, gross. Yeah. Well,
Can we see it now?
Yes, you can. He throws giant dwarf mitt-sized handfuls of dust onto it. And you see the creature's limbs just kind of like look down at itself and just shrug like, oh my god, this again.
I grab it. I give it the zaps.
Oh yeah, it zaps the shit out of it. And again, you turn it into a Christmas tree briefly, and it kind of wigs out in its shape and form, disrupting the wind around you.
Marjorie can
Nice.
attempt to do the stabbing again.
Go for it.
1 stab and 2 stab.
Those both hit.
And I will do Psychic Blades again since I've got the resources for it presently. And she will 1 and 2 and roll 2d6 psychic damage.
Ooh, yeah, it doesn't like that, Marjorie. It's so much damage.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah.
It's so much damage that it's going to use its legendary action.
Oh, shit. Damn it! I mean, she
One
sees
for
this
you.
coming. Okay. Probably. Oh, God, son of a bitch! Bitch, fuck off.
And because it hasn't forgotten, one for Aramis.
Oh my god.
Just eats.
It like throws its arms up like, finally. Got your ass.
Oh.
Aramis will retaliate. He will use his bonus action to steady his aim and fire his last dragon breath shot.
Oh, that hits, baby.
And then the fire damage.
It is flipping you the invisible air birds, and you give it a face full of fire bullets. And yeah, I would say at this point you can tell that it's kind of fucked up. It's having a lot of trouble keeping its form, and the wind that's just whipping it around is getting more and more erratic.
And that is my turn.
Who next?
I shall go, and I will hit it with this again.
All of those hit.
Don't forget that for somebody, since I forgot it again.
I'll just go ahead and roll it so that it goes on there. Oh, no, that was not a d6. That was just roll 6.
Oh, wow, you rolled
so
a
it
6.
Rolled 6.
You roll 20 like,
But I
all
rolled
right.
a 6.
No, come on.
Nice.
So 23 total. 17 of it force.
Oh man, this invisible stalker's thinking it probably should have been punching you this entire time. Yeah, especially with the force damage, you just send it directly into this thing, and you feel like it is very fucked up right now. It is having a hard time sticking around, and you feel like it's kind of getting ready to float away.
I think Daisy has yet to go this round.
Correct.
No.
And most of our NPCs.
Yeah, I just didn't want to step on a player's toes with an NPC.
Never you mind, Master Oliver. I'll wait my turn.
You know,
God, you know, for the attitude that you have, you're such a kiss ass.
It does seem a little contradictory.
Gracious, a little respect would do the lot of you some good.
more con save.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I picked so many con save spells because none of the things.
Aren't we like
ever
modding this thing?
on.
I mean, you know, it's decently sized. It's trying to fight at you, but yeah, you guys are mobbing it pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. It's also going to get pushed 10 feet away from me.
I think Heinrich is pointing out we're all in melee.
Yes, that is true. That's a 15-foot cube there, champ.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to do that?
No. I forgot that a large portion of my party likes melee. It's very
I
upsetting.
don't, but I don't want to start firing my rifle at this thing.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of non-AoE spells here.
I mean, what? We'd all have to make a con save to
Yeah,
take
no,
half?
Don't. I'll pick something else.
Okay.
I have other things.
Oh, do you want to think and maybe have some NPCs go before you
Yes,
so you can
but
plot?
please have like 1 or 2 NPCs go first.
Yeah, just tell us when you're ready.
Alright, well, Nadia's gonna try her luck again, I guess. Can't possibly
fucking
happen
is.
twice.
Oh, that fucking hits alright. Ooh, 2 iron. Alright, so Nadya gives this thing a swing-a-reno and hits her mark, and the ground explodes underneath it, and now it is electrocuted and on fire, and you can tell that the invisible stalker's kind of panicking.
And that's when Madam Black tries to hit it. Fails, I imagine.
The invisible stalker kind of goes like cartoon bug-eyed at Madam Black and like starts dancing around her, trying to escape her blows. You can tell that this thing is running away the second it can.
If it can.
If it can.
I think then is that everybody?
Daisy.
Yeah. Just Daisy, yeah.
Daisy.
Okay, so good news, bad news. But bad news is I don't have anything that won't hit you guys.
Other than a stick.
Other than a stick. But I've had an idea. This thing looks really weak, right?
For the moment, yes.
And so it seems like its ability over the air around it is waning, right?
Or, yeah, maybe not waning, but the control of it is waning?
Yeah, the control of it. Yeah. Well, I also have control over air to some level. I would like to use sculpt element, and considering this is sort of a smoky, misty creature, I would like to change its shape. And I would like to change its shape, because it says a crude shape, into essentially torn up paper. I would like to try and rip its own body apart.
Oh, because it'll be funny. Roll the d4.
One.
Daisy, you aim directly for what you think is the middle of the creature, and you sculpt yourself some elements. You can see the air beginning to coalesce into a cube, and it is white and papery, and when you are done with the spell, the wind stops, and the paper tatters fall to the ground. And all you guys can hear now is the screaming of the guy on the toilet. Ah! He takes his pants and tries to pull them off and begins to waddle away. Oh, this wasn't worth it! It wasn't worth the pay! Oh, Mama said never go to Dumont!
Oh, has it perished?
As far as you can tell, it's not around anymore at the very least.
Yeah, Marjorie looks down at the paper.
You see something underneath it. When you kind of brush the paper aside, beneath the paper is a bluish-white shimmering powder in a neat little pyramid-like pile.
I want to collect that.
Oh, it turned to dust. Marjorie just falls over. Thud! I think
That's going in a vial.
she took like her entire health pool of damage. She still has health, but for drama's sake, she just falls over. She just ate a ton of damage. She's like, alright, done, checks out, falls over.
Heinrich, you scoop this stuff into a jar greedily. You have one jar of gray essentium.
Oh, wait, gray? What's the gray one?
Don't worry about it, you'll find out. How many elementals has Heinrich fucked with in his life?
Time to do some experiments.
Indubitably.
You're picking up the
Oh.
dust. Marjorie's laying next to it like, ow.
That was fun. Let's never do it again.
He's just putting in jar. Maybe I can use this to power my machine.
Yarplug's like, hey, Marjorie, maybe you shouldn't be face down in the outhouse mud.
She's face up. She just fell backwards. She's like, oh.
I would wash my hair as soon as I could if I were you.
She's like, tries to get up. It sucks. Everything hurts.
Yes, welcome to my life.
She does.
Nadia says you are all idiots, and she helps you up.
Yeah, she does the grabby hands for someone to help her.
Are you still down hit points?
Oh yeah, I only have 9 left.
Ollie beckons Madam Black over to you for one of these.
I think she easily ate her entire health pool in damage. That's
You see, Mademoiselle Marjorie, combat can be an exciting, exhilarating, and refreshing experience, don't you think?
I have 7 more health.
Oh dang. So what am I? Hold on. So 8.
That's 15 more you get.
Okay, yeah, she's at full now. So she perks up after the health. She looks at Madam Black and like, I'll decide that for myself in the morning. She rubs like wherever it hit her, which I imagine like the chest and the stomach and her shoulders. She's
Yeah,
hurting.
thereabout.
Yeah, she's hurting.
Hopefully that was the only one.
I hope they have running water still. And she just slowly goes back in the building. She like abandons this. Like, we did it! And she goes inside.
I would like to try to feel the tides again to see if I think that's the only one.
I would love for you to try and feel the tides again. Roll me
Well,
an Arcana.
while you're doing that, Heinrich slips the little, basically, one of those joy buzzers off his middle fingers. Like, I should put this on my staff.
A joy buzzer.
Yeah, man.
All right, Ollie.
He just reaches in his pocket and it's on his hand when he reached out.
Oh yeah, because of the shocking grass.
Yeah.
So Ollie, you concentrate for a moment, clasp your hands together and close your eyes and feel the ripples and the tides around you. And it is quiet. There are some people with some magical items about. There are a couple of magical lanterns that got activated. You can feel the very soft ripples of those. But you feel some strange ripples coming from the direction of the mayor's manor. And when you try to focus on it a little more because you're not really sure what it is, it vanishes.
But nothing was moving like as quickly as the air elemental was.
You think there may be another.
You guys aren't going to like this.
I imagine Marjorie didn't even make it to the doorway yet. What?
He just points with his wand towards the other place that's big with lights on in it.
Did
I'm
parts
getting
of
the
the caravan
feeling
go
there's
there?
another one.
Ah, yes. You see Mrs. Jean's carriage outside.
Oh, so she went to the fancy room. Fancy place.
Yes.
How about Marjorie flexes her hands and sighs. Perhaps then we could have the fancy place? I bet the beds in there are wonderful. She just kind of daydreams about it for a second.
Let's
keep it from being destroyed first.
yeah.
The hope
Heinrich-
of getting to sleep and bathe in a really nice place like gives her hope and energy.
Heinrich's gonna down one of his little vials and walk with some pep towards this next shit show.
All right, you guys get pepped up and begin to make your way towards the mayor's mansion. And you look up and down the streets of this small town, and nobody seems the wiser. People are still looting up in the houses, yucking it up inside the inn. When you guys are passing the street, you see your boy from the outhouse shuffling his way and holding his pants up. Oh, hey guys, you won't believe what I just saw! He goes inside.
Yeah,
How are
just
you guys
hurry.
feeling?
Oh yeah. Heartbeat check.
Yeah,
Everybody.
heartbeat check. How are we feeling?
I'm doing all right, but I'd be okay to stop here.
I'm doing okay.
I'm
so
getting
far.
tired, but I can keep going.
I could do with sleep.
This isn't a terrible spot.
Yeah, it's not the worst. You guys, Avengers marching over to this manor, getting ready to fight some invisible shit.
It would be nice to not miss the end of a session for once.
Okay.
Well, I think that settles it then.
Yeah, we can end on the note of we're going to go fuck up another elemental. Hopefully.
Yes.
Or it's going to turn around and fuck me up. Just
Well,
specifically me
don't
again.
worry. We just healed you back up to full.
Okay, so I can take
You
another
can get-
22 damage again.
Yeah, you can get beaten up again.
Oh yeah, if I take
Don't
that
you
much.
worry, Mademoiselle Celestine. I'm sure you're far tougher than you look.
I haven't seen you.
Ah!
I haven't seen you
Ah!
fight like that, so yeah, probably.
She rumps.
She twirls the stiletto, which she seems to have some pretty good finesse with. Toss and catch.
This invisible thing won't see you coming. Well, I mean, it will, because it already has, but you know.
Well, we can get the drop on it again, and no one's close enough to it. I can try to keep it in place, but it's a big blast.
Perhaps someone, Yaroplex, should fill his pockets with actual pocket sand.
Oh, stop saying my name!
Well, get the dirt then. She kind of like gets mad at him.
Fill my pockets with dirt. I'll show you some dirt. I haven't filled my pockets with dirt since I was a kid. Unbelievable. How many pockets you want me to fill with dirt? All of them? Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. Put it in your mouth, too. Stop looking at me!
Just your pockets will be fine.
Will be sufficient.
Stop looking at me!
Marjorie ignores him. But alright, yeah, great place to stop. We'll go in swinging on, what is that, December 2nd. We will not be meeting next week.
Yes, because we'll be on vacays.
Yep, so happy turkey holiday to everyone, and I hope everyone has a good one.
Hell yeah!
Bye.
Happy
Adios.
holidays! I love you.
Mwah.